Hello, this will be a quick tutorial how to create a good usable detail items. But first, let's just quickly recap why we need detail items and what is their advantage. So if we have a project in which we have a 3D and we want to show something quickly for offer or to show a detail that is really not necessary to be modeled in 3D, we can use the so-called 2D objects called the 2D objects called detail items, which can be inserted into a 2D view and not visible in the main 3D model. As you can see, there's nothing in the 3D, but if we go to this drawing and to the typical section, you see that these 5 walls, and to prove this, these are the same walls, I can select the wall, and when I go to 3D, this is the same wall. It shows these 4 different sections. These are entirely 2D sections that I've created, and I'll show you how to make them. The advantage of them is first, you can show things that are predefined and so-called fake things that you don't have in 3D and you want to finish quickly in an offer stage. This is one thing, and the second thing is that they also are scalable. The reason I place it on a drawing is to show you that it can be scaled. So at the moment, this is 1 to 50. So if I go inside of the view and change it to, let's say, 1 to 25, you see that the walls grew up, but at the same time also the detail items grew together with it. So they are very convenient, and once you make them, you can use them in multiple places. Where the standard things are placed in our area are in AutoCAD. In the catalog, you have to activate the map formwork sets. I'm not 100% sure if they already replicated on everyone's computers. They might be even deleted on mine, but I'm going to show you where they're supposed to be. So first we activate map, and then we have to look here, and it looks like they are here. So currently I placed them in this folder 95. They're outside of the 22 and 24 folder because they don't need to have different versions. They are designed in 2022. So once you open them, they automatically get upgraded to 2024 very quickly. So the typical sections I have created are here. At least the folder is. So they should show up here. Not sure why it's so slow. Yeah, there they are. So you just click and you can add one to your drawing. There you go. So how do we make them? The first thing is, if you want to save time, it's nice to open multiple sections in the same drawing. And once you do, arrange them so the insertion point of the first one matches the insertion point of the file, which will help you to put it in the correct insertion point in Revit as well. Then the other ones is nice to be inserted in some easy to remember the spacing from each other, because if we do the coloring and we want to copy the already colored beam from here to here, it will be easier just to select and just move to 5000 in this direction. This dimension is not needed, it's just to show you how to arrange them if you want. Of course, you can work on a single one. This is not a problem. One advice from me is to purge always the files before use them, and then simply save it. You don't need to close the file. Then first make sure you're working in Revit 2022. At the moment there's only 2022, but soon there will be 24. So always create them on the lowest version possible, because otherwise, if you make a mistake and create them in 24, they won't be usable in the older version. Then you have to create a new family, and from the families templates, you have to go to 2D family templates, then go to M detail item, which means metric detail item. You have to save it somewhere. For example, I'll save it on my desktop and I'll name it D22 example. It should be correctly named, of course. And then double click in this label, delete the text, click on the outside. Then we go to insert, import CAD, and then one moment, families, 2D families, detail items, typical sections, and then I'll insert this file. So as you can see, they are cyan and yellow as they are in AutoCAD. So the solution here is very simple. You go to Manage Object Styles, and from Imported Objects, you open this, and you can see that I have very little number of layers because I purged the file in AutoCAD. Then you click here and make it black, apply, apply. And if all you want is just a 2D wireframe section, you're ready to go. You don't even need to put these guys, just save it as it is. If you need to correct something, you correct it. But in our case, I would like to put coloring on the beams. And here there is a little pitfall that I struggled a lot with. The way to color things is to use, there's no hatch in the same sense as it is in AutoCAD. You can use field region. So when you take the field region, you get the standard drawing menu. And for example, if you want to choose, if you want to make the beam correct color, yellow, you draw over it. So this is the start of the beam, and this is the end of the beam. So once you finish that, you will see that automatically gets colored black. So the problem is, first problem is that the color is not correct. So once you select it, you can click Edit Type, and from here, you can duplicate this type and just name it yellow. And then change this first color to yellow. You can create a couple of more for next use. Let's say you can create blue, and then you change it to blue, and let's say dark brown, and change it to dark brown. In our case, we would need to use, of course, the yellow, because this is the beam. So this is the part that I struggled a lot. You can see that everything is covered, and you're starting to look, try to figure out how to put this into the back behind the drawing. You see these buttons here, but they don't work. They don't work. You just select it and nothing works. The trick is that you need to load this thing into the project, and you will see that it works. It actually works as is, but it's just not showing it correctly in the family. So you can go to load into project, and then go inside of the family, and I just have to find it in detail items, the 22 example. So let me just put this one here. As you can see, the beam is correctly colored and the yellow thing is behind it. It's just here the preview is wrong. The next thing that you can do, I mean, that's pretty much it, but you can use the pick tool for more complicated shapes. So let's say you want to color this item. You can go like this as normal, and then just simply connect all the lines together with this tool. Of course, simplifying the coloring is actually a good idea because I suppose it's going to be lighter. There it is. Looks like we covered it. So just click finish, and it says there is a problem. Continue. Let's see what the problem is. The problem is here. Okay. There's no beam. Okay. The issue is that this and this is not connected. So let's finish. There you go. And now we change this one to, let's say, blue. And in order to test it, again, load into the project, overwrite, and you see that this is correctly colored. Then, after you finish, I mean, if you want to color the next one, that's why I told you to make them a proper spacing between each other. You can use copy and just type 5000, and then you have the second being colored. If you want this thing to be optional, the coloring, what you can do is to create a parameter, name it coloring, make it an instance parameter, put it in constraints, should be as no type, and it should be in constraints. And then once you do that, you select everything that is field region, filter it, make sure it's called detail items here. So now I have all these selected and I can attach this coloring to it. So now once I load this one into this, I would be able, let me just delete the original one that I created so we don't get confused by them. Okay. So this is the one that I created. So if you want to turn off the coloring, you can just unclick this and this becomes a black and white wireframe family. Okay, so the last step is to save this as multiple files. So obviously this is going to be your work file. You save it with the name of the section 1. Then you delete all available all of the colorings that you field regions that you created. But then the question is, how do we split this? And here the important part is not to split it fully. Just split it partially. Once you split it partially, each section becomes a separate entity. So what you can do is just delete like this, and then make sure you do a purge. Then you do the standard save as to optimize and name it properly, of course, and then the section is ready to be used. After that, you can send it to me via email. I'll check them out, and later on I can add it to the catalog. I hope this was helpful. Thank you, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Bye.